we've got a new poll, and it shows that sympathy for Israel among young people is plunging. It's down to only 54% who actually support Israel. Okay, it's 24% who support Palestine. But that support for Israel is way down. Congressman Russell Fry is with me. Congressman, why is support for Israel down among youngsters and among people of color?
Well, I think one of the biggest drivers of this is, one, TikTok and what's going on TikTok, sharing Osama bin Laden's letter as it's like some sort of gospel, I think is abhorrent. But two, and probably most critically, is the state of our colleges and universities, where if you believe in the Palestinian cause, you're allowed to speak. You're even allowed to bully people who have a different type of view. I mean, just this week, we had a resolution to defund colleges who support the Palestinian cause, who don't allow free speech on their campuses, and 55 Democrats voted against it. I think there's a big divide amongst the Democratic Party on how to deal with the more eccentric characters of their conference. And you look no further than the colleges and universities, which are on the forefront of the battleground for the hearts and minds of the American people right now.
What amazed me was some people appearing on TikTok very much in favor of Osama's letter and saying it was dead right. Where if you really read that letter, he's talking about taking women out of any form of education. They can never get out of the house. They can't even meet strangers. They've got to wear a burqa. How come the left, people on the left, how can they possibly think that that's good?
I think it's just selective, they're selectively paying attention to things that they want to pay attention to. But you look at this in our college campuses, you've got these professors that constantly put this up. It is not a surprise. Unfortunately, it's not a surprise. And I think we have to be very aggressive about this. If we believe in free speech, if free speech is more than just a suggestion written down in the Constitution, then we need to make sure that kids that are on these campuses that want to speak out, that want to have their own rally, that they're able to do so. Look, just this week, we had 300,000 people supporting Israel on the National Mall. You didn't see them blockading buildings or shutting down freeways. They did it peacefully. They did it the right way. But the Democrats and the left seem to take a very different approach when they want to speak to the American people.
We've got the latest Fox poll shows Republican primary voters overwhelmingly support Trump in 2024. He took a 4-point lead over President Biden as well. Congressman, looks like this is Trump's going to win. What do you say to that?
Without question, nothing has changed in the year that people have announced their candidacy for president. The only thing that has changed is that support for President Trump has continued to grow. I think he's up over 60% in some polls. The next closest person on a national poll is maybe at 8. I think the primary is over, and I think it's quite frankly time for us to focus on Joe Biden and the Democrats, consolidate around the consensus pick. And let's get the job done. We don't need to continue a primary in name only. President Trump will be a nominee, and we look forward to having him back in the White House.
You think he'll win? You think he would beat Biden or any other Democrat?
I think people remember very clearly how prosperous they were under his administration, how safe we were. We've never had a more pro-Israel president. They remember the good times, and they look at what's going on now, and in just disgust. And so poll after poll continue to show not only him holding his own against Joe Biden, but growing that lead. And so it's time to put this to bed, and it's time to select Donald Trump as our nominee.
And we hear you. Congressman Russell Fry, thanks for being with us this morning. Have a great Thanksgiving,
Thanks,
sir.
Stuart.
Please. Got it.
You too, sir.